Moss, a plant that almost everyone pays no attention to. A plant so common that you have probably stepped over it countless times. But it's not as insignificant as most think. Moss is in a family of plants called bryophytes. A bryophyte is a plant that does not have the ability to transport water to its tissues. Instead, they absorb water through the air, which is why moss needs a moist, humid environment to thrive. Most moss is very small, growing slowly over many years. Although, as tiny as it is, moss plays an important part in any ecosystem. It can absorb up to 20 times its weight in water. Moss also absorbs pollutants such as heavy metals. One of the reasons moss can hold so much liquid is because it's made up of 90% dead plant material. Moss does not have roots. Instead, it uses rhizoids to attach itself to surfaces such as rocks, trees, and fallen logs. These rhizoids also help prevent soil erosion, gripping onto the soil and holding it together. The water-holding strength of moss is very important for small insects. During a dry season, insects such as ants and beetles rely on the water from moss to survive. Without these insects, the environment would take an impact. They help break down dead plants and animals, which keeps the forest floor from being overrun by carrion and dead material. A young rat snake is hunting. It glides along the forest floor, going in and out of the leaves. There are nearly 12,000 types of moss, growing in every corner of the earth. This is spoon-leaved moss. Spoon-leaved moss often appears green to yellow on the top, while staying brown on the bottom. It often grows on rocks, trees, logs, or just on the forest floor. This moss likes to carpet, so it's common to find large sums of it on the edge of creeks and waterways. A rainstorm. The rainfall saturates the ground and the moss, supporting life in the forest. This is pincushion moss. This moss stays very rigid and tends to grow straight on the forest floor. unlike the last mosses, this one is covered in thin, yellow-green stems, hence the name, golden thread moss. It likes to grow in little patches, instead of carpeting like other mosses. Moss was the first terrestrial plant. Moss is a descendant of algae, which was in the ocean as long as 1.2 billion years ago. It only transitioned onto land 450 million years ago. Instead of leaves, moss has microphyllus. Moss gains its nutrients from the surface of its microphyllus by photosynthesis. It draws in carbon dioxide and water and expels oxygen as a waste product. Moss creates spore capsules, which rise from the tips of the microphylls. Once the spores have reached the perfect amount of nutrients and growth, the capsule will explode, showering the ground with spores, in which new moss will grow.